Where? Where? Good morning, afternoon, evening. It is taco time. Taco time it is. Taco time is? Taco time is now. Now? Now. Hello everyone. Are we miraculously preserved? I'm miraculously preserved. Whew. How's everyone doing today? Doing pretty good? That's good, that's good! Did you guys enjoy FES and EXPO? You were so cool, thank you. I really appreciate when people call me cool, because I know deep down I'm not that cool. But I tried to be. I tried to be. Yeah! The entire show was spectacular. I mean, I personally was happy with how I performed. So I hope you guys had fun. You are cool. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was good. Okay, that was good. Whew. There's so much to talk about. Where do I even start? Honestly speaking though, one thing I was happy with all the performances. Especially my own performance. I'm talking about my own performances, but I'm disappointed in past Ina for failing to take care of herself better, to have more energy to hang out with everyone and participate in more stuff. And I don't know, I had a bunch of stuff I had to deal with outside of FES stuff too that I should have dealt with a lot more, but at the same time, I feel like recently I was just very overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, which ended up being the case where I would be late to things that I usually am not late to, or like I make mistakes and I miss things I usually don't miss. So, you know, but still, one big assignment over. And now after Drawn to Dawn, hopefully successfully wraps up, I'll probably take a bit of time to reflect and relax a little bit. I know it might sound like I'm being too hard on myself, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, I need to channel the bright Noah in me and deal with past Ina. Anyways, do I start from the very start? The very start. Couple days before, I think the day before the pre-FES chat stream, I don't know if I said it or if any of the others said it, but we had a outdoor recording all day, and at the end, I was really tired because, you know, me being outside, very tired. Excuse me, sorry. I did. My cold is like 95% better. I just have a little bit of phlegm left. Anyways, after that, I was tired, and I got to the hotel, and then, you know, I was like, you know what? I'm prepared to be potato outside of, you know, FES related stuff, and survive on konbini food for the rest of the week, And so at first I was gonna go out to eat, but then it was really late at night, so I was like, konbini it is. So I bought, because usually when I go to konbini and eat at night, I don't want to go again in the morning, so I buy like I buy breakfast as well, which is why I had that extra cup noodle for Cece. you know, the usual stuff. I mean, Uber was an option, but at the same time, Konbini was right there. Okay, so yeah, and then the cup noodle incident happened. It was fine. At the same time, why is the stream in 720p? That could be because somehow. Oh, I'm also in 30 FPS. Somehow when I came back to my apartment, my OBS settings reset. Alright, should we quickly change it back to 1080? Give me 1 second, I'll switch. I'll switch it right now. I'm going offline for 2 seconds, but I'll switch it. Okay, be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think I should be back. I'm back. Hello. My apologies. We have returned to 2026. Whew. Sorry, I thought I was streaming latest technology in 2009 or something. My bad. Anyway, sorry. I also have my breakfast. I haven't slept. I haven't eaten. So I need some sustenance right now. Anyways. What else was there? Oh yeah. And so the day after, I was curious how spicy the cup noodle I gave Cece was, because it was a cup noodle that I didn't have before. It was like a new brand. And it wasn't that spicy. I mean, it was a little peppery, for sure. But it wasn't like, oh my goodness, I can feel the spice level. It's okay. My rival still has a little bit of room for growth. She needs further training, and I hope she does not hurt her stomach. She's an automaton, right? She just has to remove the feeling option in her taste buds in her mouth. That'll be fine, right? Anyways, okay. And then afterwards, yeah, that was that. And then of course there was we got to tour around the EXPO FES. Of course we had the FES venue. The EXPO venue. It's where we are let loose to go sign everything. And yeah, I think we had less time than usual from the previous year, so I did my best to sign as many things as possible. I actually even like asked Chaimane. I was like, Chaimane, you're gonna have to help me keep track of all the tacos. And then I think after like 3, we both lost count. I was like, That was a lot of tacos. Hey, Chai Money, how many tacos has it been? She's like, more than 3. So, if you're lucky, you found them all. But I think we found. I mean, I was looking through the hashtag you guys are posting it, so I think everything was found, if I'm not mistaken. So there was that. I had fun signing a couple things. I don't know if you guys noticed. I think you can. I forgot to take a proper picture. But if you guys look at the what was it? The Y2K outfit. I don't know what else to call it. The EXPO outfit standees. If you find pictures of me in that area, if you look closely at the shadow my standee is making. Yeah, the one with the silver white suit. If you look closely at the shadow that my standee is making, I was like, that shadow looks oddly familiar. I was like, kinda looks like a takodachi is in the shadow. If you check the hashtag that I asked everyone to post the FES Expo pics in, is hashtag Ina FES Expo 2026, I believe. I think. Let me check. I have bad memory. Yes. No, not 2026. Ina FES Expo 26. That's what it is. I shortened it because it was getting too long. Anyways, if you scroll through some of them, not the one that was on the tapestry, but the one with the life-size standee. Is it life-size? I can't really tell. But it's a standee. If you see the shadow, because the shape is very like squished, it looks more closer to a takodachi than my own shadow. Thanks to the easy to understand language used during the monitoring talk, I was able to understand the content even though I'm not very good at English. Thank you so much. いえいえ、こちらこそ。なんていうか、実はもっと日本語で喋る予定だったんですけど、緊張すぎてちょっと英語しか喋らなくて、ちょっと申し訳ない。So I was going to speak a little more Japanese, but I got more nervous than I expected, and so I ended up just speaking English mostly. ね。And to be honest, I went into it with a pretty broad plan of what I wanted to talk about, which was the food takes. I don't know what I would say yet. Food wars. But I wanted like live reactions and response from you guys. Thank you to the brave souls who volunteered to speak. Like the udon versus soba, choco mint, yes or no, taco or ika. And to be honest, I was correct in remembering that the actual talk itself was 15 minutes. And I had a little timer, but there was a staff son keeping track of the time. And I have also underestimated how naturally I interact with chat versus physical people. physical takodachis. And I realized that I depend so much on picking up comments from you guys that like when it's time for me to present, I was having PTSD from presenting in front of the class and being nervous and sweating. Like before going into actually like doing it, I was like, oh yeah, I got this. I've been doing this for years. And then I sat down and I was like, hey guys! You know, the usual greeting. Very miraculously preserved, etc. And then I was like, oh no, how do I segue into the actual food wars part? It's like they responded, but then there's no continuous flow of comments for me to continuously bounce off of and naturally segue into my talk session. And I was like, oh no. To be honest, I don't have this much trouble when it's like those one-on-one fan meet and greets, because it's one person and I know like how to talk to one person. But there was a lot of people. I don't remember how many tickets that were given out completely, and it wasn't even only the fans, the tickets as well. There were people outside of the actual area that I could just stand and watch. So I was like, sorry, I will work on my socially awkwardness. I'll keep working on it. Talking in front of a large crowd, not my forte. Although, I don't know. It's just when... Also, the funny thing is, though, I don't have that much trouble during MC, I think. Because I have body language. And when verbal language doesn't work, I have body language. But then, like, when I'm just sitting, talking to live fans, I don't have my backup body language. It's something I gotta work on. But anyways, alas. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good experience. I always really enjoy talking to you guys directly and actually see your faces and actually put names to faces sometimes, because some names I recognize, some names or some faces I actually recognize. It's totally not me stalking the fan group, Takodachi group meet pictures. Yeah. But also thank you. Yeah, I already said thank you, but thank you to the brave souls. I know a lot of you guys are like me, who really don't like standing in front of a group to answer questions. But I'm also kind of happy and thankful to the staff for being flexible. That I was actually the last monitoring talk of the day, so there was a little bit more wiggle room in terms of, you know, timing and schedules. And so the last brave soul who answered my question also suggested we take a group picture. And so I was like, staff-san, is it okay? And of course I was saying that to the venue staff, but I was also like side glancing at the staff that was assisting me with my setup. And at first I was like, oh no, they can't, because they At first, they made the X sign with their hand. They were like, "No, maybe we can't." And then all of a sudden, I guess the on venue staff also contacted them, and then the staff beside me also turned that X into an O. So I was like, "Oh yeah, let's go, guys!" So that was a very nice photo we were able to take. I hope that with the monitoring talks, they could also consider leaving a bit of time at the end for group pictures too. I think that was a very special moment, and I think any members fans who enter, the monitoring talk would appreciate a group photo at the end. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if they'll do it again next year or, at any other events, but I think group photos always very nice. Yeah. Would I do it again? I will do it again, but I'll think of something. I'll think of something else than food taste. Thank you for the monitoring talk. It was not as awkward as you think. James Taco! Taco's the first name. James is the last name. I asked. Thank you for stepping up. Be brave. Anyways, that was really fun. And yeah, I hope I had more time to look around the expo during our tour, but I hope everyone who went to expo was able to check out everything they wanted. Honestly, I was really, what should I say, impressed with a lot of the displays and events and things. I remember the Guru Hollow Mountain. I was waiting for my turn, and I was gonna, of course, because I went around to sign stuff. Mostly it was CC, I think. Sometimes with Bay. And then when we got to the mini game, we were like, yeah, CC, my rival, we must battle. Except, I don't know if you guys got to see how the minigame was set up. It's not a 1v1 kind of thing. Like, the more people you have at your number, the more advantage you have. And so, it was gonna be a fair and square party. A competition. But then... when I was so focused on my button pressing, someone's manager decided to join in to help their talent. It was not Cece's. It was someone else. And then we didn't have a chance. We didn't have a chance to win. It was not... By the time Chaiman had noticed and joined in, it was too late. Anyways, that was pretty fun. Like, I think the minigames are pretty fun. Like, I remember it was last year had the shooting game, which I was pretty happy about because I got number 1 out of the talent. But then, what was it? But then the big screen and the button and everything, I think it was really well set up. Also, really liked the setup of the Hololive Dreams area. I'm actually quite looking forward to Hololive Dreams because, I'm an enjoyer of rhythm games. And I've been, we've all been working pretty closely with the development team. And going through all the content and everything else. Honestly, they put in so much, and I'm kind of like wondering how they're managing to fit everything in one game. It is really fun. There's a lot of different minigames. I think they might have covered it in the expo stream and stuff about it. But there's a lot of mini games and a lot of, you know, conversations and little tidbits between members. I'm sure you guys saw the little chibi 3D character of all the members, etc. And the rhythm game itself, we got to try a bit too. I think CC and I tried to do a competition of one of the songs. I think it was SSS on, was it Expert? The currently highest level that was available on the phone. And we both forgot to adjust some settings and we both failed. It's like I forgot to set the speed to like much higher than a 5. Okay. And if you've ever played rhythm games before at a higher difficulty level and you haven't set the speed to a high enough one where you can actually tell the notes apart, it's very difficult to play. I'll just say that. Okay? Anyways. That was pretty fun. And then there was, of course, the Yago snack corner, which I may or may not have stuffed my pockets with. Yeah. So Expo itself was really fun. I hope that, you know, those of you who went to see it in person enjoyed everything. They posted about the Holodori chalkboard. What does this umbrella mean for the rivals? Of course! It is a symbol for the greatest rivals. Right? Because that's what rivals do. Write their name beside each other on chalkboards at school. Pure rivals. Yeah. Oh yeah, and we got to try some of the food too. I think some members might have talked about it. I had the minestrone soup, the wawa soup. I think Crony also had the soup. And then Gigi got the Anya tiramisu. And then CC got the rice bowl thingy. Personally, for me, I feel like I should have gotten the rice bowl. I should have gotten the rice bowl. The rice bowl was yummy. I mean, everything was pretty yummy, but you know, for usually for these food items, we get to choose one, and I do try and get the, or whoever, or if it's like a group one, I try to get the EN one as much as possible, because EN represent, you know, haha. No, but at the same time, I remember in previous years, the venue itself was pretty cold. At least when we're touring around, because there's not as many people there. So, in my logical choice, I chose the hot soup, which was the right choice. I think a lot of people were feeling a bit cold. Yeah. But, yeah, I think that's about it for FES related things. Or not FES, Expo related things. But FES. So I was in the first stage. First stage. And I always feel, what should I say, nervous. And I always feel like the first stage is quite important, to me at least. Even if I'm not on first stage. I feel like the first stage of FES itself like really sets the tone. And it's like the first time you get to see the big new shiny thing, right? That is gonna happen during this entire FES. It sets the tone. So I personally wanted to do a song that would be very hype. And Over, actually, to be honest, when we were first deciding what we were gonna sing for FES, Over was not the choice. It was gonna be a different cover song. But I thought about it a bit more, and as Over took shape a little more, I was like, I feel like I have to Over. And I know I feel bad for changing the song, but I was like, you know, I think I really wanted to Over. So, what was the original choice? What if I want to sing it on a different occasion? I'm gonna be spoiling you guys. Because I did practice it. I was ready for it, but... No, I don't think there's any plans to sing this song. But it was gonna be a pretty hype song. And semi-related to another song that I have performed before on the stage. But I'll keep my secret, so I'll surprise you guys. But, whatchamacallit. But yeah, Over I feel like was the correct choice because I was so happy to hear everyone shout so loudly and so clearly during the call part. And I was like, is it really okay to be appreciated and loved? For everyone to shout the song so loudly? I was really happy. So thank you. Yeah, I was really happy that you guys actually memorized it and remember. Because, you know, I told you guys that I haven't really been at my best for a while. A lot of things piling on top of each other, and I did want to put out like a proper video and call sheet for Over as well, but amongst all things it just didn't work out. So I was really worried. I was like, oh no, what if it's quiet? What if they didn't remember the chant of the song? And I was like, oh no. But you guys proved me wrong. Thank you. Thank you for being so supportive. And of course, I really appreciate it. I'll remember that moment forever. And of course, if you weren't able to shout with the crowd, and if you happen to be going to Drawn to Dawn, you now have some material. some study material. Oh, speaking of which, I guess I could show some screenshots. Ta-da! I know exactly what this is. In a blink. Yay! Na 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 na. In a blink. Honestly, I was a bit worried for Over choreo, because while I was learning the choreo for all the all the new songs of my EP and stuff. I had to learn the most difficult choreos all in one day. And my brain... Well, this was for Drawn to Dawn, but of course Taco Takeover, also for FES. And my brain hurt so much, my body was aching, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Taco Takeover's choreo is like one of my favorite that I've ever danced. Oh, you wanna see a blink too? And a blink. Now that I see it, I'm so close to my 3D model. You can't tell us apart. Anyways, and the reason I know you guys are like, Ina, the choreo of Taco Takeover is a lot different than the animated small Inas down here, because as much as I wanted to line everything up together, the MV's assets and stuff were made a lot earlier, I guess. And then when I asked Miyuki Sensei is the one who did the choreo for Taco Takeover and Kuru Kuru Cruise too, actually. So you know. and Yuki Sensei had so many good ideas about like the ichihachi takodachi part. Like I make like a 1-8 with my body. Ichihachi takodachi. You can go back and see the VOD. And then a lot of wiggles. And yeah, a lot. And then I think you guys realized, but I asked for the MV to be used as the backdrop video. I love this part too. Ina 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 ina. Ore no ina no sekai sen mamoru tame ni taco ni naro. But then a part of it. And then I realized, I was like, because the MV is on the big screen, it means everyone saw the stuff I drew on the big screen. Wow! And also Bones' stuff. Wow! And also Rumsky's stuff. Wow! But I think having the visuals definitely required. And I really like using the MV for the backdrop. Man, I love the logo for Taco Takeover. It's so fitting. Also, it's just like this is like me when I burst through your door and be like, "Hey guys, it's Taco Takeover time!" Kaboom! Should we do a cyclone and roll with our pen lights during the takoyaki making part? Just make sure you don't hit other people around you. Be aware of your surroundings. Anyways, I love looking at the crowd. I can tell that there's a mix of violet and purple. Yeah, aru. Because they keep switching, or I mean, it's been violet for a while, but it's been purple a couple of years. But honestly, I don't mind. I don't mind. Because Ina is a very colorful person. So I'm not too worried about if you get purple or violet correctly, as long as you got the vibe, you know? You pass the vibe check. It's somewhere around violet and purple. And sometimes, depending on the song, maybe it's good to change the color depending on the song, you know? I also accept orange at certain places. Just as long as it's not overpowering the purple, you know? Ah. But you know, like, especially for Taco, I think has a lot of different shades of purple. So, not too worried about it. I'm an artist. I like a variation in the hues. And then, yeah. And then every time the bright orange or yellow. But it suits the song so well, the purple and the yellow. But you know, it always it amazes me how many fans gather for FES. And wow. I'm amazed. And of course, I'm pointing at you. You! It's like a reaction image now. You shall join the tentacle. We are not a cult. You. It's fun overcoming the language barrier with so many fans and enjoying your performance together. And I think that's the joy of FES and hololive and VTubers in general, and music in general, where like our enjoyment and love and passion for something really brings everyone across the world together. And it makes me really happy to see when, you know, of course I think it's you know, you have to learn a bit of Japanese, or you have to learn a bit of English. I think you know, maybe this is your way. Maybe this will be a way to make new friends all over the world who has something or who loves something similar or the same as you do. Breaking language barriers and dimensions and connecting the world. Ooh. And then, yeah, this is the 4 I was talking about the very end. When I was talking about the choreo with Miyuki Sensei, she was like, I was imagining the tacos to be doing like the 4, so it's like 4 4s, so it ends up adding up to be 8. So it's like your tentacles, and you cheer like that. So it's like you guys have 8 tentacles. And then I don't know if I don't remember if the VOD captured it better, but it kind of go hui hui hui. Yeah. I mean, it's not a requirement, of course. I know personally, especially when I was learning the choreo, my arms are super tired. That's right, you guys finally remembered that you have 8 tentacles. Wait, you have 6. It's okay. We accept tacos with anywhere from 0 to 8 arms. You could use 6 more. Man, that's such a genius line. When you have zero arms, then you're just a round takoyaki. If you have 9 arms, well, we can arrange it to make it into 8. We have a department for that. I mean, I think growing arms is quite difficult, but I think removing one shouldn't be that hard, right? I mean, that's how the ikadachi to takodachi conversion happens. No? Eh? Yeah. Overall was quite nice performance. I think I'm pretty satisfied with it. And of course, kuru 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 said Okayu senpai. Okayu senpai. Man, Okayu senpai is so nice. So meow meow. And finally, I'm so happy you finally got to perform Kuru Kuru Kurus. You know, like, there were times where, you know, the live team or management would suggest, you know, oh, would you like to perform Kuru Kuru Cruise with different member for this and that? But I was like, no, absolutely not. Not until I've performed it with Okayo senpai first. I know. I was like, I refuse to until I do it with Okayo senpai first. And then I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but but Myth was split into our Mythmash partners. So I was like, all right, I got the message. I got the message, management. But at the same time, I was really happy. Of course, we weren't like forced to do Kuru Kuru Cruise, and we could have chosen a different song. But at the same time, I was like, I feel like if it's a song that I want to perform with Okayu senpai, it's Kuru Kuru Cruise, because I really like Kuru Kuru Cruise. And because of that, you know, I got to talk to Okayu senpai a lot more. And of course, she also invited me to her birthday live that happened recently. If you guys haven't checked it out, I was totally out of it due to multiple reasons. So I wasn't able to promote it as much as I wanted to. But you can go watch Okayu senpai's channel, her recent birthday live. Funny story about the birthday live is that so I think if you know the original song, you know that we sang at a lower key. And for some reason, some odd reason, past Ida did not check which key the song is gonna be performed at. Therefore, all the hours of practice was done in the original key. And then the night before the recording, I just by chance decide to check the instrumental files and stuff for the performance. And then it strikes to me. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And then, well, to be honest, it's not like the biggest deal. Like, I don't, since I mostly need to just practice how the words are sung in which syllables is like the biggest practice time, like what takes the most time for me in practice. The difficulty came because I always underestimate how low Okayu senpai can sing. And I mean, I can sing pretty low too, but not, of course, not as well as Okayu senpai. And I was like, oh dear. I hope I don't sound like a machine. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I can sing low, but doesn't mean that I have like a really good control or, you know, whatchamacallit, control and or nice tone and stuff, like quality. So, you know, I did my best. So if you ever want to hear low singing, you can go check out Okayu senpai's live. But yeah, you know, but I played it pretty cool. I was like, yeah, Okayu senpai totally practiced everything perfectly. Of course. Yeah, you don't need to worry. It's okay, she didn't notice until I told her about it afterwards. Ever since you decided to hire a vocal teacher, your singing is a lot better in both low and high range. Oh, I'm glad! I mean, ever since I came back to Japan this time around... I mean, this time as in like... After... When was it? After the summer sometime? I like schedules upon schedules and actual prep for Drawn to Dawn. Yeah, during the winter. I wasn't able to get additional lessons. But... yeah. Speaking of it, it's kind of related. And also, you know, got to say hi to the members in the waiting room before stage 1. And I got to talk to Watame senpai a bit, and we actually have the same sensei, singing sensei. And when I was introduced to the sensei, I didn't realize until they let me know, and they were like, "Oh, that's perfect," because I really love how soft but how powerful Watame senpai's voice is. And I always felt that, you know, I always have a softer voice, but I also really enjoy singing more powerful, like, rock songs as well. So I was like, oh, then I know I got the right sensei. So, and yeah. Anyways, that was a little sidetrack. But one other funny thing happened, because in the waiting room I was just sitting across Flamoko. I was just eating my food, and then Okayu senpai came by. She came by my seat a couple times, which I was really happy about. Because I'm very shy. I'm not the type to actually like approach, you know, other members on my own. I'm the quiet one in the class who waits for someone to come talk to them. And then Okayu senpai gave Famoko and I a bunch of like chocolate coffee beans, I think. And then, but I was eating my food, so I was like, oh, thank you, I'll eat it as dessert. And so I put it on, wait, was it Okayu senpai who gave me the coffee beans? Or was it Fuki senpai? I'm getting confused here. I should have taken notes. But Okayu senpai becomes relevant in this story because the coffee beans, the chocolate coffee beans. I might have to ask Famoko because everything is blending in right now. It's been a couple of days. Anyways, so I laid it out on top of some tissues. And I was like, just leaving it as is kind of boring. So I made a little smiley face with the coffee beans, right? I just left it there as I was eating my food. And then I left to, take out the leftovers and trash from eating the food. And, talk to staff, Mane-chan. And I came back to my seat. I saw that the face has been rearranged. And I was like, arele? I don't remember the face looking like this. And it turned from a smiley face to a :3, if you know what I'm talking about. Was it always a :3? What happened? What happened? And then so, of course, the first suspects, the most obvious suspects, were Fuamoko, who happened to be sitting in front of me. And I interrogated them. I was like, Fuamoko, what have you done? Have you touched my coffee bean chocolates? And they were like, no, it wasn't us, Bao. It wasn't us, it really wasn't us, we swear. And I was like, I don't know. The face kind of looks like a doggo, a happy, smug little doggo. And they're like, no, it's not us, we promise. And then I thought, and I was like, sure. And then I thought about it. And I was like, wait a minute. There's another meow here who has an even more smug face that looks just like the expression made with these coffee beans. A certain meow. And then I interrogated Fuamoko again because I was too shy to ask Okayu senpai. I was like, Fuamoko! Was it Okayu senpai? They're like, yeah! Oh man. Yeah. Mischievous meow senpai. But it's really cute. And, of course we had a couple of times that we got to talk to each other, but I feel like he's one of the senpais who's very similar to me in certain ways. Kind of purple, kind of chill, kind of meow. And so, yeah. And then later, she came back to talk to me. She was like, Ina, do you know, in English, she was like, do you know death pig soup? Death pig soup. And I was like, staring at her blankly. Not to be rude, but like, this is the problem that I faced myself because I'm a multilingual person. It's the exact same problem I had with Hadap the Pan. Where my brain, without permission, randomly decides to translate some words. And sometimes not. And so, the first time I heard desu pig soup, I was like, desu? Pig soup desu? And then Louis was like, no, she means death pig soup. I was like, oh, death pig soup. And then after the multilingual Ina made a mistake, the artist Ina, without permission, decided to take control and was like, hey, death pig soup means a pig dressed in death metal like clothes and they're drinking soup. And so I was like, I was trying to answer both of them because I understood it meant Tonjiru. But in my head, on one side, the multilingual Ina was going, hey, it's pig soup desu. And then on the other hand, the artist Ina was like, imagine that death metal pig drinking that soup. Anyways, but it was death pig soup. Death pig soup. That was tonjiru. So if anyone asks what tonjiru is in English, you tell them death pig soup. And it was really funny because they were going back and forth saying, why didn't you know what pork is when there's stuff like pork ginger, where in Japanese it's called pork ginger. ポーク知ってるでしょってルイがおかえ先輩に面白かった。Okay, so she just wanted to go ahead with passion English. I love passion English. I love when, you know, senpais, kohais become speaking English. It's just, I wish I could turn off my multilingual brain because it gets in the way of understanding English sometimes. But that's fun. She wanted to prove to Louis that her passion English would be understood. I understood it. I understood it. Except I understood it a little too well from different perspectives. And also, I'm always surprised by how good Louis' English is. Like I know she's really good, but like to have like conversations with her, I was like, wow. I always forget. I hope Louis speaks more English more often. I love hearing her speak English. I know. It's so good. But yeah, Kuru Kuru Cruise was good. And one thing I really like about the Kuru Kuru Cruise choreo is the nya nya. Ninomae inyanis. I mean, if you squint enough, my flaps kind of look like cat ears, right? Meow meow. Right? Meow meow. Yeah. There's the part in the choreo, you know, where like I like spin both my arms because it's kuru kuru. But when I was learning the choreo, I kept messing up which way I was supposed to go. I was like, am I supposed to go left first or right first? It gets confusing when there's a lot of choreo that has different starting points and ending points and kuru kuru. Which is it? Do I spin my arms clockwise or counterclockwise? I forget. You know, but it worked out. It worked out. And of course, MC with I am Miss Senpai. Okay Senpai and Inya. Man, I'm really happy I got to do MC with them too, because I got to talk to them. They're like the members that I don't talk to that often, especially Ayame Senpai too. And we got to talk a lot about like, of course we talked a bit about Death Pig Soup, and talk about how I learned Japanese and stuff. We talked about like dramas that we like and places we want to travel to, and you know surprisingly enough, I know it's hard to believe, but like Myth is on our 6th year, or on our way to 6th year, 6 years of streaming and experience in content and performances. And every time I'm paired with a senpai, or I talk to senpai, or I get a chance to talk to senpais about doing MC and these performances, I always ask them whenever I get a chance. I also asked this to Ayame senpai and Okai senpai too. I was like, because of course they have a lot more years of experience than I am, I asked them, I was like, do you guys still get nervous or anxious about doing live MC and the performances? And I think I also asked this to Sora senpai last year too. And Okai senpai, Ayame senpai was like, oh, not really. And I was just like, Sasuga senpai. Sasuga senpai. Because I still occasionally, in terms of like MC and stuff, drop my spaghetti from time to time. I mean, I try not to show that as often when I'm with my kohais, because I know in that situation I am the senpai and I need to be the one being composed and cheering and calming down my kohais. But when I'm with like my senpais, I'm the kohai, so I'm just like, I will follow what you do. And man, I always feel like there's like such a big skill gap in like the live MC and stuff still, where they're so natural, so fluent. And I just follow along with what they come up with. I'm just like, wow. I'm very happy to have experienced this. And the back and forth between Okai senpai and Ayame senpai, I think, was really natural and really fun. And I was like, wow, I need to learn from this. So I had a lot of fun. How much of the MC parts are scripted? Honestly, not that much, because I think we had a very short amount of time. So usually, of course, we have the usual greeting, and we have like bullet points what we want to talk about. We'll be like, okay, we will do introductions and the cheers, and then mention the ending, and then poof, that's about it. So anything in between, anything conversation, etc. in between is usually done on the spot, ad lib. But I think that's just also me though, and of course with Ayame senpai and Okai senpai this time, they're very free. But I know there are members who actually like really practice and like go over what they are gonna say on the stage. Which I think partially is what I should also do at times, because I trust my ad-lib skills too much. Sometimes when my brain blanks, I'm just like, oh no. But yeah. Yeah, that was fun. And I really enjoyed how, what should I say, how similar in a way our pen light colors are. I actually wanted to suggest um having Ayame senpai in the middle, because then it will be like a purple slash violet sandwich. But my language barrier could not relay that, so I didn't mention it. It was the artist Ina talking in my brain. Don't worry about it too much. But yeah, it was fun. I always enjoy doing MC for FES, and so I was happy I got to do it again. Japanese is praised by Ayame senpai. Yeah, 嬉しいな。嬉しいな。いや、でも、去年よりはうまくなったかも。I feel like I do speak a little more fluently without that much stopping this year. So I do feel a slight improvement. Maybe living in Japan is helping somewhat after all. I still can't read though. That's something that I need to start working on. ねえ。いや、もう、なんていうか、まあ、何年前は、まあ、普通に、外国から来た人っぽいな、日本語を喋って、特に、なんか、まあ、日本語上手って言われたんですけど、最近はですね、なんか、外国から来た人ではなく、ちょっと喋るのが苦手な人になりました。ね。これがいいことか悪いことかはわかりません。So basically, until like a couple of years ago, you can still kind of tell that I was like a foreigner. But recently, I'm just being told, or like from impressions of people that I've interacted with, has been telling me, you just seem like a person who's just not good at speaking. まあ、いいことだと思います。はい。But it means my intonation and pronunciation has gotten better, so I guess it's an improvement. I'll take it.いや、でも、それはあるんですよ。普通に、ベイちゃんとか、アイリスちゃんとか、喋るとき、なんか、日本語で、言う、なんていうか、ことっていうか、日本語でもっとわかりやすいっていう言葉とかは日本語で喋ってます。So, especially talking with like Bay and Iris, I think sometimes we end up switching to Japanese for like certain phrases because the meaning of the phrase and stuff is just a lot more explainable. More わからん my brain. Like there's like a specific phrase and stuff that's just more natural in Japanese or more expressive, or it's hard to explain in English. That is very much simpler in Japanese. That just happens to come out. This is why being multilingual is brain hurt, because there's too many languages fighting for dominance. もう無理だよ。 言語難しい。ここから絵で話します。Speaking language is too hard. I shall now speak in pictures. Anyways. Yeah. I think that's most of what I wanted to talk about. It was fun overall. I just wish Pastina was a little more responsible and put together, so I could hang out with the others a lot more. But what did you think about the holobus/box? Is that what everyone is calling it, the holobox? I've been calling it the trolley for the whole time, the holobus. I think it was a pretty cool idea. I feel like the creative Ina side of the brain always was curious about how things work. But like I hope the staff that was helping out with the movement of the trolley got enough rest. It seemed heavy. It seemed heavy, and they had to manually move it. It was pretty cool though. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought... I don't know if it was much visible on the thing. When they were talking about the idea at first, I thought it was automatic, but it was manual. Yeah. So if you still have the streaming tickets, you can go back and see. I think they made sure that like it wasn't obvious. But yeah. Yeah, I can imagine it would probably cost a lot more and also requires a lot more like arrangements and stuff in order to like imagine if it was automatic. Like you would have to, because these event venues, they're not like permanent, right? They have to take it apart and like do everything. So having just thinking about the electronics and logistics of it, I think being manual is probably safer too. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was pretty cool. They're really creative. I wasn't sure how it was gonna look overall, but I was really impressed. Yeah. Sorry. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. But speaking of which, I do have to start getting ready soon. I have to go to dance lesson. Which was why I was rummaging through the different buttons and then I messed up. But yeah, now comes the last spurt. Preparations for Drawn to Dawn, so getting more dance lessons, practice, rehearsals until until the end of March. It's coming up so soon. Speaking of which, I think it will be announced or has been. It's probably not announced yet. Wawa and I are going to have a dance lesson 3 self-booth 3D collab. I think tomorrow. I have to double check the time. But 1 p.m. JST. Let me see. Ah. Okay. I'm always confused because, like, sometimes stuff gets put in my calendar, except, like, sometimes they take into consideration when I have to enter the studio, and then sometimes it's like the actual hour of the stream, so I'm always a little, I must double check sort of thing. Yeah. Sorry, I will repost when they will tweet it out as well. It's gonna be on the official hololive English channel, so be on the lookout. I'll let you guys know. Yeah. Oh yeah, other things I also want to mention was that I will be a guest in Anya's birthday live coming up as well. On March 12th at 9 p.m. GST, was it? Yeah, I really need to write these down properly. I'm looking at my calendar. But, and of course, the Mario Tennis tournament coming up on the Sunday. I'm unsure if I will get practice at all. I will end up first from the last spot, as usual. If so. Yeah, there's also the future game show watch along. I will be joining other members. May not have my own point of view. Not too sure yet. I'll have to ask and figure it out. And I think I might have another stream a couple of hours after that stream. So I'm still sorting out the schedules because I am trying to, what should I say, work out a whole bunch of things schedule-wise, work and outside of work. So schedule's a bit up in the air right now. I'm squeezing in streams and lessons and rehearsals as much as possible. Do I remember to schedule sleep hours? I actually do have sleep scheduled into my Google Calendar. I always try to. It's looking a little full right now. Anyways, I will take care. Do my best with what I have and what I gotta do. Thank you always for all your support, all your kindness, all your passion, supporting me and the other members during Holo Expo and FES. I hope you guys look forward to John to Dawn and the dance lesson 3D stream tomorrow. I hope you guys look forward to it. Thank you. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the morning, afternoon, evening. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.